Everybody, how y'all doing? Happy Sunday. It's Joseph R. Wheeler the third, the artist, the founder, the president of the ONYXCON Foundation. All right, put a big O on it. Bow. All right, I just gotta put some love on it. You know what I mean? What's up, y'all? What's up? How y'all doing? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, just for the sake of breaking it down, for anybody who's new to this, because I want you to be true to this. Y'all see that? You see how I'm flowing? Anybody who's new to this, because I want you to be true to this, I need y'all to subscribe, okay? I need y'all to like. If you stay here if you stay here for a minute watching me talk, at least like it. That's the way of saying, hey man, I heard what you had to say, whether you was interested in subscribing or not. You at least put, well, damn, did y'all hear that? You gotta do all that to get the car going. You might want to park that thing. That's not good. Anyway, yeah. If you stay here at least a minute, show me you was in it. You know, put a thumbs up. Thank you. It definitely helps. Every like helps. And we on a mission to get monetized this month, if not next month. We refuse to go into the next year. You know, since the holidays hit, it's like the race is on from the end of September going on into October. When you hit that, you know, Halloween season, which we're officially in that technically. Everybody's already talking about it. Folks starting to plan costumes, spooky movies coming out already. You know how it go. October, November, December, that's it. You got 3 months, man. You got 3 months. And then, like I say, my month ain't over. This is September. This is my month. My September is Virgo Central. I said Virgo Central. Now, we moving into the cusp area soon. We ain't there yet. Calm down. But we literally, what's today? Today is what is today? 20-something. I don't even be keeping up with them numbers like that sometimes, but I know it is because of something I had to do by the 19th, which was that Friday, I think? Yeah. So it's right around the corner. Like I think the 23rd is the beginning of the cusp. And the cusp is like, I'm talking about the cusp for Libra Virgo. So, you know, y'all got next Libra, but hold your horses. Like I say, it's still Virgo all the way. It's full throttle Virgo season. It's about to be hybrid Virgo season, and then it's going to be officially Libra season, and that'll be what it'll be. But check it, y'all. I've been giving y'all the goods as I always do. Every day I wake up and I go harder than usual. Even on posting lately. If you notice, if you're paying attention, you'll feel it. If you're a subscriber, and that's what I want you to be, so you can understand the conversation when I use the common terms of ONYXCON around here, and you feel a part of this family, you know what I'm saying? You be a part of this monetization nation that we are creating so that we can build these dreams, share things with y'all that others don't, in a way that nobody would but us. And we do it purposefully. We do multi-niche content. We don't have one niche. People come to channel, hey, so what's your niche? What's your niche? People talk about YouTubers get together. So what's your niche? I don't have one. And I throw everybody off with that. I know, huh? Yeah, and I still got 1,750 people worldwide appreciate the way I'm doing this. So I am not gonna stop. I've proven my own theory to be lucrative eventually. It takes time. It takes more time than the average channel that is gonna be one niche, that is gonna do one thing, or try to convince you they do one thing, because nobody literally does just one thing. But they'll center the channel around one thing. And for me and what my organization is, because it's not just me, I'm the face of it. So, you know, what you know about every channel, what I've learned is the reason why people can have multiple topics, even though, like I say, so a lot of people are doing multiple topics, but they just claiming one. The reason any of that works is people gotta like you. That's really all it comes down to on anybody's YouTube. It ain't always the message, it's the messenger. People want to like the messenger. If they appreciate you for your energy, your honesty, your creativity, whatever that is. I mean, it really can vary. You know, you got folks who out here, I don't like it, but a lot of people obviously love it when they got millions of followers and they do that obnoxious, really silly, straight over the top, ratchets most of the time kind of stuff. Some folk like that. To each his own. You know what I mean? Hey, they doing what they doing is winning in a ratchet world. It makes sense. The world don't went ratchet, so they ratchet with it, and they just trying to get paid. They don't care about the ethics. They don't care about the morals. They don't care about the quality. They don't care about. As long as they loud and silly, they gonna make some money. Y'all know it's true. Y'all know it's true. My grown folk in the building just saying, "Hey man, universe blessed. Somebody tell the truth. Thank you." You know what I'm saying? And I'm not religious, so that's why I said universe blessed. That's my side of it. But I got friends who are, family who are. They come in here. See, when you respect first, then power, then money. It don't matter whose religion. It don't matter what ethnicity. It don't matter what construct. That's what races are. It don't matter because we all on one. We in one big thing saying, "I get you. I like what you doing. I appreciate you. I like your vibe. I'm into the stuff you into. And even the stuff you're not into that they're into, it's okay because I like seeing you deliver it. I just like to see your passion about it. That's intriguing. That's empowering. That's cool." 18 in the building. Why we only got one thumbs up? Seriously. There they go. Drop it. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Smack them trolls. Bow. If you a troll, get your ass up out of here. Like that. They gone. All you gotta do is point them out. If you a sucker and you in the building right now because you ain't put a thumb up, get the page. Yes, yeah. But they hang around when you talk violence. They like that too because they think they know that. Oh man, damn! I hurt my own hand. Ooh, hitting too hard there, player. Don't sleep on these 50s. Anyway, man, yo, seriously, y'all, we do multi-niche content. So, for example, if I account for everybody I posted or reposted, because I do a lot of collabs now too, and they're not. I want to say what they call collab. I didn't call it that. I don't know these people. I don't have to know them. If I like your content, I salute it. ONYXCON salute. That's what we call it. That's an ONYXCON salute. Hey, I dig what you did right there. I like what you're doing. I like how you move. I like your entertainment quality. I like the lesson you taught, whatever. So like the last thing I posted was something in reference to relationship, what I consider it fits into what we call relationship goals in the art life. Because it was, I don't even know whose voice that was. I don't even know if it was a real voice. Honestly, it could have been an AI. It probably was. But it sounds like something old. Like if it is AI, they used a really good filter that makes the voice sound like some very old doctor from 1940s, 50s, or 60s doing a dissertation on how a man should check himself to, approach the right women in his life and know that he's getting with the right type of ladies based on what he wants out of a relationship. And as I listened to it, it's like a lot of things like that when I hear them, I'm like, okay, how much of this am I going to be agreeing with, or am I going to just be like, oh gosh, damn, another person spewing a bunch of lies and misleading the youth because they trying to figure it out and they ain't been through some of this life like us folks who made it to 50 or in their 40s at least. And then I said, wait a minute, no, this was good. No, this is really it. Like, this is all true. I will vouch for damn near every way they put this. So I said, yeah, I'm gonna use this sound. I did what they call a collab, which, like I said, I wish that button was called the remix button, because that's what I did. I took you can take the audio if it's allowed. Everybody has that option when you post something on YouTube as a YouTuber. You can hit this button and say no remixing whatsoever, or you can leave it open. People could remix. Like most of my videos, I leave them open. Because one thing I know about me, if you said or did anything offensive using my image or my voice, I'm gonna hunt that down. I'm gonna chop that off right at the bud. You know what I'm saying? We can get legal or whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna allow it. But most people ain't on that, and most people don't want to use your image or your voice and give you more love because they understand if they hating, they don't want to give you more credit and stuff. So only a fan is gonna do that. So I'm looking forward to the first time I see it done because I know it'll be a real, more than likely, it will be a fan. It will only be people who really appreciate what you got to offer the world. That's just how that energy is. So anyway, I did that, and check that video out if you haven't seen it. I hope it's getting some numbers it deserves them. And I also made that a link for ONYXCON hotties which is our page on Instagram where we celebrate the beautiful women of the world and their talents. You gotta stress that last part because people love, dudes love to look at beautiful women. Women like to look at each other and say, oh, I like her hair, I like her nails, I like her dress, I like, all of that. But I want you to really see it in most cases, because, some stuff is just pure fluff. I ain't gonna even front. It is pure fluff to lure you in. And then I hit you with the bombs. Like, wait a minute, this woman talking about something. She's an orator. Oh, she's a poet. She's a philosopher. This one's a visual artist. This one's a master chef. Not just somebody who can cook, a freaking master chef. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that. I showcase that. That's what we do with that. So if that sounds like something you'd like to check out, ONYXCON Hotties, HOTTIEZ on Instagram. All right? Subscribe there. It's free to subscribe over there. Just like it's free to, it's free to follow. You need to use different words interchangeably. It's free to follow over there. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's free to follow at ONYXCON. And we got other pages at ONYXCON Rise, ONYXCON Outdoors, ONYXCON Style, ONYXCON Fitness. Yeah, we got all that too on Instagram. That's Instagram. Here, everything I just said, we mix it all together. You at it right now. It's one thing. And if you want to split it into categories, you go into our playlist. Our playlists it's your TV guide to how to watch my YouTube channel here. I'm your host. I'm your gracious host, the editor, the founder, the everything of all things ONYXCON. And I'm inviting you to check out those playlists so you can see all the variety of content. You're going to be amazed how much is here. And then it'll make sense for those who are new to the channel why, okay, I saw a real cool car video the other day. This guy Joseph was talking, or I was, sharing energy that's and understand what my reaction is, that kind of thing. I do a lot of those, and they've been winning on shorts, really big numbers lately. I've been loving it. I think we're gonna finally hit 100,000 is the word I meant to say. 100,000 in what do they do in 28 days when you look at the main feed? Yeah, then you could break it down per day, per week, per week. But to get 100,000 in a month, it's gonna be amazing. Just because we don't usually do those. We usually average like 30 something, but we've been up. We hit about 50, and I said, oh, that's when I knew. I said, wait a minute, this is really. I've been seeing the thousands on a lot of the shorts, but I realized, man, shorts shouldn't even be called shorts. They should be called short opportunities, doggone it. I'm talking about it is playing the lottery when it comes to monetization. It's so freaking hard because you gotta have freaking, what is it, 9 million in 90 days, 9 million, I think it's 3 million. 3 million views in 90, so basically 3 months. If you can pull off in 3 months, 3 million, which is, it sounds insane just to say it out loud, but you gotta think, I just said, we getting close to pulling 100,000 in a month. Hello. Hello. So all that tell me is keep doing what I'm doing and double, triple fold it. All right. We're gonna try and finish this part I was just talking about. So like I say, I was literally riding. I dropped the order off. I got it here. I told the customer when I got there, sitting on the porch, the story, and they laughed. We both laughed. I said, this dude was about to get bit. I didn't want to have to. I don't want to see nobody get bit. But hey, if you stupid enough to do what I was watching, I was just trying to get my camera out so I can go viral. Cause and I could tell the snake was probably not poisonous, but nonetheless, a bite is a bite. And the only reason I know it may not have been poisonous is I know I can ID a lot of common snakes in Georgia from having grew up here and knowing what's out here. That ain't to say I know I would never say I know all the different snakes and I know everything went by ID. No, and there's too many things that look alike, even though they're like, people mix up common water snakes all the time with moccasins, and moccasins are poisonous, cottonmouth, you know what I'm saying? Another name for it if you never known. But yeah, those are deadly. But at different stages in their life, they can look just like, and in different waters and different situations, their colors can be slightly different, and they'll look like a water snake. Hell, even some copperheads sometimes will look like a water snake. Those are deadly poisonous. So, but the water snake is not poisonous, but still, every snake will bite to defend itself. I don't care what the hell it is. It can draw some blood. It can give you an infection. It can, you know, like, why would you play around with the chance of getting bit? And you're not a pro, don't know what the hell you doing, okay? Obviously, this dude didn't know what the hell he was doing. He literally, first of all, you know, started the snake. Snake minding his business, sitting out on the edge of the road in the sun bathing because it's a hot day and he getting that sun like they do. That's reptile, that's what they do, right? This fool went straight for the end of the tail, which you see that happen a lot of times with snake wranglers and stuff. But the way he pulled it and didn't get enough of a grip, I knew right there. I said, yeah, this dude don't know what the hell he doing. And he didn't have his other hand out the way, like, I wouldn't even want to try none of this, right? But I've watched enough of folks like the real Tarzan and some other folks that are legends for this. You know, the real Tarzan, big black brother, I forget his real name. Man, that's crazy. I used to know his name, but I forgot his first name. Anyway, I watch him all the time. I admire his ability. He's absolutely crazy, but extremely talented for what he does. The man has a zoo, a literal zoo in California that he and his wife manage along with their staff. So he is more than trained, been doing this since he was a kid. But this guy that I'm watching today on the side of the road with a long ZZ Top beard, if you know who ZZ Top is, you can imagine what he looked like. He literally had a beard that was like down to his navel. The beard was impressive, but I'm laughing. I'm like, I guess you feel like you just manly because you got your beard down. Look, bruh, the beard ain't gonna save you. The beard ain't gonna save you, bruh. God almighty, if that snake had turned around. Hold up, y'all. Yeah, I'm checking stuff. Sunday, no less busy than the other days, you know. So like this dude, he out here reaching down on at an incline, okay? The snake got a total advantage for turning around, and if it got himself into a little bit of a coil, popping you dead in your damn face, or your arm with the hand that's trying to hold it. But it wiggled away just enough, because as soon as he got his finger on, I saw his hand, it kind of grabbed the tail, and then I saw the body, and that's when I knew how long. That snake had to be 3 foot long, you know? And at least, you know, that big around. It was at least that big around. And I mean, man, we talking about a 3 foot snake. I said, look at this damn thing. And he trying to act like he gonna really grab this. And what? Just for what? What do you? Just after he grab it, his goofy ass gets back in his car. And I'm seeing the wife's head. You know, you can see in the car. I can see gets in the back. All right, y'all. All right, here we go. Signal is back. So yeah, as I was saying, man, I don't want to take this whole live over talking about that. You don't always see stuff that stupid every day. You see some stupid stuff like that online. Somebody else messed around and saw it and got the video. But when you are the audience and life is happening and you see stupidity that is hilarious but also scary, because you literally know, man, this could have went really bad. You're just like, it's awe-inspiring. You can't believe what you just observed. You can't believe that you're witnessing this craziness and that people are this goofy. But now you know, if you needed any verification of why the graveyard fills up, here's your reason. Like, here you go. Oh my goodness, man. That dude don't know. I said to myself, this dude don't know what the hell he doing. His whole body language is like, amateur, never really did this, maybe as a kid and got away with it, did it a few more times in life and got away with it. But if you ain't doing that kind of stupid shit all the time to where you go beyond just doing stupid shit, you're now a professional at doing randomly dangerous shit. Like literally, it has levels to it, you see? It goes from stupid to just, as long as you know what you're doing, I mean, I guess, you know, you just have to respect this. There's a skill to this. What would be called stupidity is gone beyond stupidity now. You must know what you're doing. You know the nature of these creatures. You've been around enough of them that each of these species, you know how to get in and out without losing your life. That's what you see when you see animal wranglers that do all of that. And I'm speaking from my own little bit of relatability, being adventurer, outdoorsman, and one who loves dangerous fish. Like, I like catching stuff that is I don't even really think of it as dangerous first, even though I know it is, and that's why I respect it at all times. And I never act like the fish is my friend, and no matter how much I want it to be calm, and I may talk and say human things in the moment, like, oh, come on now, you behave, what are you doing, hey, and all that old shit. And I don't expect that fish to give a damn about my voice, my vibration, my nothing, other than let me get out of this situation. I didn't volunteer for this shit. Like, I always have that respect for everything I catch. I always know that this creature did not want this today. This is my desire, and it's a great responsibility in that if I'm going to take this thing's life, I'm going to eat it. And if by chance something happens, circumstantial, and its life ends, I'm going to honor it. More than likely, I'm going to have it taxidermied, and that's rare that that's happened. That happened with my very first gar, and it broke my heart because I really didn't want that fish to die. I wanted to go ahead and let that fish go. I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I was at that stage in my career as an angler. I didn't know what I know now about gar. I actually thought because they're air breathers and stuff, I could have that fish out of the water as long as I did, and it'll be all right, and I'm taking pictures and all this. Man, no. There's a time limit on anything. Literally anything. But then when you're talking about with fish, different ones, and then there's a whole thing of stress and everything else you're putting on the body of this creature. If you say you really give a damn about the animal and you are concerned conservationist, then you need to, it's like, get it out, take your pictures, get it back in the water. It's my number one reason why, and a lot of people will feel like their feet been stepped on by this, but I'm gonna still say what I got to say. I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of how it looks, because it is beautiful to watch the casting process of people who do fly fishing. And I love the art of making the flies themselves. I think that is an absolutely fascinating art form, and I like it. What I don't like is the tackle procedure and method, because it's not even the pole and everything itself. It's the process. You have to strip line, and then you're not really reeling. You're more so stripping most of the time. Most of the fish I've ever watched be caught doing that style of fishing, it's the whole, what they call stripping part, that brings in the fish. It's like literally you're holding the pole, you got the line coming off to the side, you have a little reel if you want to reel it, but most of the time they're doing this. They're literally pulling it, and this is, so in a sense, you're like doing a guided hand line technique. So having seen real hardcore in real life, hand lining in República Dominicana for the first time in my life, when I witnessed that, with a dude pulling thick ass 100-pound mono and another brother holding the spool while he keeps stripping up line from the fish. And every now and then you got to give some to get some. The fish gonna take line just like if it were on a reel. You ain't gonna be able to keep a tuna from taking line unless you want to get your arm and hand yanked off, so you got to give to get, right? And it was a whole long ass 45-minute process, but they got that fish in. So anytime there's a sense of line in that regard, it's going to take longer to land the fish. That's just the nature of it. So when folks came up with these other methods of modern bait caster and bait casting reels and rods and spinner reels and rods, all of that, it's for a reason. It literally takes not only the stress off of you through the pole being able to handle and give you the advantage of the fish's advantage in the water with the weight, but you're also physics involved, okay? You're being able to pull something that you couldn't pull the same way if that rod and reel were not a factor, but you're being able to do it with the extra device. This mechanism is helping you to pull it in faster. And that's better for the fish's life at the end of the day for most species, not for all, because some species, they get so exasperated no matter what. By the time you get them in, if you wasn't fishing for a meal, quite frankly, I got less regard for folks who think they doing something and don't be considering the species. Because some fish, yeah, they're fine. They revive really well. You just got to go through whatever the process may be. And most of the time, it's not as long as some of these guys want to make that part. Just because I get it. We love these fish. We want to see them as long as we can and touch them. But you can't be rubbing the damn fish down like it's your girlfriend and stuff. And then you putting it back in the water with none of the mucus on it. It needs to survive in the water. So now you still done killed the fish. Or you done took so many pictures and so much stuff for so much time. The fish starting to dry out and all this other mess. The gills getting dry. You can't do that. You got to get the fish back in the water. Take the chance of dipping it and losing it if it yanks loose or whatever, and then bring it back out and take some more pictures and then let it go. All of that's a more respectful process. You know what I'm saying? All of that is a way more respectful process. And I just get sick and tired of seeing how some of these guys that they got the money, because that's the other thing. That style of fishing is expensive. The rod and reels cost twice, 3 times sometimes what other styles of fishing cost. And it's on purpose. It's an elitism thing. I'll call it the golfing of fishing. It's the golfing of fishing. It's like golf is expensive. I'm trying to watch these orders at the same time. They're not giving me what I want though. Hold on, y'all. Oh man. Understand is what I can't get the order I want, and I just have to take and be blowing your gas. You feel like you just working before filling up your damn gas tank because you can't get what you really want that stays in the area you want it to stay. You end up having to go to other areas. Now you're blowing your gas. It's the whole thing. I ain't out here trying to pay for gas. I'm trying to. Anyway, sorry y'all. That ain't even. Let's get back on this fishing. Let's talk about fishing. It keeps me better. That's what we're here to do. ONYXCON fishing tournament conversation right now. So like I say, I think, you know, and I've done a video about this. If you want to see I broke down the history of fishing itself, starting in Africa. That's right. I hope it makes racists turn in their graves and spin till their head fall off. Because I don't care what you make up, it will never be what was. What is the truth is the only thing. You can't go put new hooks in the ground and age them and say, this is an ancient hook from Europe. Yeah, yes, Europeans, everybody in the world fish. But the first human beings on the planet to use hooks, to use a rod, a line attached to a rod, a fishing net, hand line techniques, I said all. See, people love this. Oh, they probably did do the hand line thing because they want to say that's more primitive, right? They love to say, oh, you did the first thing, we did the later thing, and our thing is better, and bullshit. That's what that's what you end that be with. That bull. That's what that is. Because the truth is the truth, baby. They ain't got nothing to do with these separatist mind states, because that's all they want to do. They just want to separate people instead of understanding we're a human family. If you're really part of the human family, you're never offended by acknowledging your great grandparents. You just like, yo, my great grandparents was off the chain. They don't have to look like your features. They don't have to look like your modern family or anything. But that's your people. At the end, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. Everybody part of you. How about that? Deal with it. Now, next. So, boy, I'm talking about I made some folk mad with that. I'm so happy too, because they needed to hear that. They don't hear that enough. They know it's true. That's why it's mad about it. They don't want to hear that truth. But that's what they needed. They need to wake up. We got some psychos running around here. To preach that other mess is psychotic. Lies are psychotic behavior. You understand? Anyway. So yeah, I did a video about that. You can look back in the history of ONYXCON Outdoors Worldwide. I think if you look up ONYXCON, man, what did I call that video? I can still see my thumbnail in my head. It's got a red background. You see me. You see some bold white letters with black trim. I can't remember what I called it. Anyway, I guess if you just put in ONYXCON fishing or racism in fishing, or yeah, something like that might bring it up. Just the word racism, because I'm dealing with the fact that if you really do the research about the history of that style of fishing, and mind you, I can't say enough, There's a lot of beauty in fly fishing. I say, is that like at the end of the day, if I use a fly that I made, or it didn't even made, a friend made one, or I bought one, but it was made with that technique with the feathers on the hook and all of the different extra things you might add or what have you. And I'm an artist, so I know I can make them. I just haven't gotten into that part of life yet, because that day will come if I want to do it. I'll make my own damn flies. If I put that on a spinning reel, what is it? Is it not fly fishing? Because it's named after the lure, not the rod and the reel. If you really want to get all the way to it, it's named after the lure, not the rod and the reel. But anyway, so my like I say, my issue with all that is, I see it's just like a lot of this other stuff. It's fun to watch on YouTube. I'll be the first to tell you, I watch it. I can only speak on it because I've watched enough of it to know what I'm talking. And I got friends who do some of this stuff too. It's not like, you know, I'm completely oblivious to some of these things. I've either done them, tried it, said this don't make sense to me, it's not logical, or this doesn't work for my ethics on why I fish and what I want to treat the fish like when I do catch whatever I'm after. Like, you know, I always say I fish for the thrill and the meal. I'm not the dude who don't eat nothing but steak and potatoes, or only thinks of the only meat that should be on your plate is something that you got from a farm out of a grocery store that was brought from across the country and is months old, okay, by the time you eat it. And yet these same type of people, some of them, S-O-M-E of them, will sit around and be talking about what's a trash fish. And if I say I love God, oh, it's trash fish. No, how's that a trash fish? Because, I mean, you know, they'll eat cut bait and stuff. What the hell that you eating, shorty? Didn't you go to the grocery store this morning and check the date on something that they read and put some red dye in and put it back on the damn shelf and told you it was fresh meat? What you talking about? That 90% of all the meat you ever ate in your life was rancid. They poured Clorox in it and everything and put some red dye in it and told you it was fresh beef. Your goofy dumb ass ate it every time. But you up here talking about what's trash. Man, if y'all don't get out my face, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. There ain't no such thing as a trash fish, and I say it all the time. If you don't like the way something looks, so what? Somebody else eats something that you don't like the way it looks. You don't like the way it moves. I get it. We all say, man, I wouldn't eat that. And then something else we say, I don't know what you're talking about. Those are good. And somebody else next to you saying, you're crazy. You would eat that? We got different taste. We have different cultures. We got different every damn thing. And it needs to be different. It actually goes with the world we live in. You can't all eat the same thing. It doesn't even fit habitat. You couldn't even fly in, ship in, sail in certain meats to make certain people in certain corners of the world only eat chicken and beef. It's like, man, what the fuck you talking? We don't even have chickens or cattle in this area. We eat this, and this. And if you turn your nose up to that, well, go ahead and starve if you're over here with us, because that's what we're going to have tonight and tomorrow and the next day. Hello. Damn shit. Eat what works for you. And leave other folks' plates alone, man. That's the way I look at that part of it all. But, I see a lot of exotic stuff, and I've learned over time, I just think it applies to almost everything. There are some people in the human family, okay, some more so than others, that have this obsession with proving they're badass by doing something and then they come up with a new version of it that makes it more complicated to do on purpose. Because the whole thing they're trying to prove is that they can do something that's a little dangerous, a little risky, it is so silly when you really get down to it, because once science gets involved, with scientists from every construct, every race, every ethnicity, every country, and they all come to a general agreement that, man, okay, when it comes to fitness, this is something I had to learn when I first started getting into it. It was a time when it was one time in my life I tried to get into the whole gym rat thing. I didn't go hardcore, but I dabbled. And I don't regret any of that time, and I still will go to a gym. I'm just not the kind of guy who works out in a gym every week or cares to add that to my agenda and schedule and say that that's why I'm in shape. I'm in shape because I walk all the time, because I eat a certain way for my body. All this applies to my body, my metabolism, my habits, my ways, my diet that I have to be on for medical reasons and things. See, But everybody ain't that mature, so they do certain things based on trends. Everything on trends. They dress a certain way on trends. They work out a certain way on trends. They date a certain way on trends. They actually pick their mates a certain way on trends. Like literally, like certain types of people are in style. So I ain't talking to them right now because they ain't hot. I'm messing with them because I need one that look like this because that's that hot shit. You're an idiot. You should be loving what you actually love, physically and mentally. I'll never take out the physical. That's something that most people want to do away with and pretend that ain't real, but it is. You do need to be physically attracted to whoever the hell you want to lay with, whatever your preference is. You understand? But I'm telling you, that's important. Especially if you end up in something you want to be long term. Oh my gosh, that's important. Hello. Right? But like seriously, these people, they make everything in their life trendy. So when it comes to some of the stuff I'm talking about with the outdoor recreation and exotic stuff to do, it kind of relates to what I see in the gym world too, where you got some folks doing stuff just to be like, I'm doing something that's hard to do. They've acquired a certain level of muscle and strength from doing certain actually beneficial exercises. And then they do some other stuff that's not, oh man, damn, hold on, y'all. All right. All right. Oh man. Oh, I'm just waiting on the clock to start again. I tell y'all, if y'all watch my stuff, and I always say, if I'm pausing, it's because I'm waiting on a little timer at the top to start again. Until that timer starts, you ain't really recording, or it ain't no guarantee you're recording. You could be, but I don't trust that until that camera's moving, until the clock is moving. That clock started counting digits. All right, now we back. All right, now. A lot of folks who will be into the gym thing, like I say, they will do some of this stuff they see online with these guys who have great physiques and they look so strong, and they are strong. Strength is strength. There's no denying when somebody does something that you know has a lot of resistance to it, and they doing it what seems effortlessly. They've built up an incredible amount of strength. But that don't mean that the way they're doing it is good for you in the long term. It's just like boxing or some of these other hardcore violent sports. Yeah, it makes you look like a real badass when you're young, but when you get old and your hands crumple up and you got arthritis and you can't even stretch your fingers out because they're used to being balled up into a fist. Like I remember a guy I met when I used to teach seniors who told me this, literally. He said when he was young, he trained in boxing. He was serious about it. He was actually pretty good. He told me, he said he almost went Golden Gloves, but he didn't make it. I think he said he had an injury or something. But he was just that good. And it was an older white guy. He was a real nice guy that I knew. Real super nice dude. One of the nicest students I ever had in that class. And he cracked me up because you would never look at this guy and think he was a fucking boxer, but he could probably know how to take your head off. You know what I'm saying? He was a lot overweight in his older age. I mean, he wasn't sloppy fat, but he was chubbed in a way that just looked like, he just looked like the epitome of the couch potato. Nothing about this guy said ever was an athlete, knows anything about martial arts. But the more he talked about it, and the more I looked at him as he talked about it, he even described how, I broke my nose. Yeah, Joseph. I can still hear his voice. He had this kind of weird. That's the other thing. He had one of Mike Tyson voices. He was probably a killer. He's like, yeah, Joseph, I was pretty good, man, but I broke my nose, I damaged some other things. It got out of it. It was fun while it lasted, but I didn't need to keep doing it because you get old and man, I tell you, that stuff haunts you for life. I have really bad arthritis in both my hands. And you see how my hand, he held his hand up and it was automatically kind of doing like this. He said, you see, I really can't stretch. It hurts if I do this. I have to just kind of keep my hands like this because they're used to being in that position from all those years, man. Yeah, all those years. I used to be like, damn, like this is what nobody talk about, right? Then I met another dude one time. I know a lot of serious martial artists and who've given me some good tips over the years. A few that I've actually lightheartedly trained with and learned a few things. But like I remember this brother I met on a movie set one time. He was a MMA dude. He's into that. And I think he told me he had just come back from some bout or something. He didn't get hurt or anything, but he was just talking about the stuff that goes along with it and how you can get hurt. And he was explaining, you know, why you have to wear certain gear when you are sparring or even in a real match if it's regulated. And he said, you talked about how when you watch MMA, why there's so much blood, because people don't realize you're going bone to bone, your skin and bone, and all the areas of your body where there's bone, like your elbows, your knuckles, you know, certain things. First of all, stuff is easy to break. Second of all, that's what will split skin, because it's the hardest part of your body, your skeleton, you know. They say your skeleton is comparable to steel, you know. And so it's just crazy when you hear these stories and you realize what's possible. And people talk about this stuff flippantly, like the human body is invincible or something, but it's not. It's not. Not at all, is it? And so, but you gotta get around some people who ain't, you know, young and cocky and ain't gotten their first, the kind of injuries that sit your ass down for a few months. You get one of them kind of injuries, you chill the fuck out. You start listening when people tell you, okay, we're gonna train safely, we're gonna do this, we're gonna take our time, we're gonna warm up, but young folk, man, they all do it, because they don't even know that what's talking is their age, not experience. And if you're young and not stupid, then maybe you're listening to older folks, so you come off, hey, wise for your years, because they may still do the stuff that the older folks do, because they don't want to get hurt, and they want to train responsibly and smart and not scary. You can't. Other thing is, you can't be too scared to not do anything. You scare yourself out of living, you don't live at all. You know, that's another part of it that people don't talk about. So it's two extremes. I've seen both. I've seen people who, they give every excuse for why they don't want to do any damn thing, because they always talking about the injury and all the problem, instead of, hey man, do you ever try anything? Like, you can't be like that either. But somewhere in the middle is a good place to be. And ultimately, in closing, because I need to go ahead and get on this order, I would say when it comes to people talking about, I was trying to make the comparison of how you see that with sports and stuff. With fishing, that is dangerous, where I see guys on the side of a damn cliff with spiky rocks and corals and stuff, and I'm like, I love surf fishing, but I ain't fishing off no damn cliff and mess around the chance of catching a fish that's 60, 50 pounds, hell, even 20 something pounds can pull your ass off some rocks. And I've seen the videos where this happened. And the dude is in the water. He's getting slammed by the waves up against the rocks and stuff, but he still got the fish on the line. And then when he lucked up because his friend was with him, because if he had been by himself, he might be dead. But his buddy is grabbing the pole and helping them or something, and then they both getting scratched on the rocks. And because the water is washing away all the blood so you don't see it immediately, they came up out that water finally, when they finally could get themselves on them slippery rocks and get back on to something stable. And I think they got the fish. I don't even remember they got the damn fish. And they're just pouring, just streams of blood, because they got little nicks or deep ass cuts that ain't showing up on camera as deep as they are. I'm like, that's not healthy. Not when you done heard the stories about certain types of coral that if it breaks off in your skin, it can grow. Oh, don't get me started, man.